DeleteLawZ announces game delay and presale. Fans of Jose Chille DeCastro learned that the much-promised tomorrow launch of his game now meant a launch for 6 weeks or 90 days depending on DeCastro's conflicting information, while presales launched on Thursday before his efforts to playtest the game began. The YouTuber ended a several-day absence from live streaming by going live Thursday afternoon to make several announcements related to his upcoming Constitution Headquarters board game, including the conflicting estimates of the delay for his customers to actually have the game in hand. DeCastro focused on anti-police videos for the first 90 minutes of his broadcast, lingering on reports of a grand jury calling for the abolishment of the Huntsville, Alabama Police Department after recent indictments of several officers on the force. As usual, DeCastro attempted to prank call the Huntsville Sheriff's Office using his JD character. He mistakenly called the police department in Texas instead of Alabama on his first try, getting through to an officer's answering machine an hour later after being distracted by other videos. DeCastro would later admit on the broadcast that while exposing negative police interactions as part of his live streams is important, it does nothing to change the world. Changing the world would be up to what people would do with his newly renamed Constitution Headquarters board game. In a moment where DeCastro may have gone from casually silly to clinically insane, the YouTuber revealed that his previous 90-foot wide by 20-foot tall had now doubled in height as he had added the history of lynching in the United States above his previous work. If the wall is required to play the game, a consumer would have to have an empty wall nearly the size of a basketball court to house it. It's still unclear how the diminutive YouTuber will teach with the wall as much of his important data is literally located several feet above his head. Our previous suggestions of photoshopping a copy of the wall and using that with a green screen may still be in play, however, though the incredible details of hundreds of cards and graphics from the existing wall may take months to replicate. DeCastro quickly announced that the game was now on presale at constitutionhq.com for $49.95 with $11.20 shipping. He said his market research consisted of going to a big box store and looking at prices of games, and $49.95 seemed to be the going price for board games. The constitutionhq.com site says that the product is shipping in 6 weeks, but DeCastro himself said it would be more like 90 days until the game would be released. While DeCastro took time on air to instruct his webmaster to change the flat $12 shipping fee the site was charging for the game, he did not change the false claim that the game would be shipping in 6 weeks instead of 90. He also announced that he'll be approaching members of his team DeleteLawZ.com to do playtesting of the game, which send up red flags from those who have been involved in game development. Playtesting is the most important aspect of game development. It's no good if you have a killer concept, great lore and beautiful game pieces if the core mechanics of the game sucks or is fundamentally broken. Those who have been involved in game design know that ensuring that a product actually works or is enjoyable or is worth a $49.99 investment from a consumer should not be shoehorned into the last 90 days before the game is set to launch. Furthermore, DeCastro's last-minute claims that the game can be used to generate legislative bills that can be used to change laws in any state is also concerning. He has guaranteed that the bills will work in any state but has shown no proof of this claim. At one point, DeCastro stopped and chastised his critics. He put up a graphic with a mock-up of the game's box and said that he has now silenced his critics as he's really creating a board game. He then announced a second product, an activist super PAC that contained all of the Supreme Court rulings that First Amendment auditors would need to know when auditing police. It was unclear if the super PAC was part of the game or a separate sale, but it would be key to his desire to change the world. DeCastro went on to promise that he would be doing 30-minute daily live streams from this point forward to check in with his fans and to keep his main YouTube channel alive. He lashed out at YouTube as there were only 263 total fans watching across all of his platforms, 211 observed at peak on his main YouTube channel. He also invited his fans to join the 70 or so members of his paid Team DeleteLawZ.com website and invited members of that site to take part in his Wednesday Zoom meetings to check in with his community. DeCastro is also due to appear in California Superior Court later this morning for 2 hearings in his ongoing lawsuit against Kate Peter, Michael Blue Bacon Piratini, Team Skeptic and Daniel Clement. We'll provide updates on those hearings as we receive them.